VA claims for tinnitus. So tinnitus is the ringing in the ears. We just deal with it. We're taught to suck it up and not complain about it. Then we get out of service. And by the time we're out of service, even if it's like a year or two, we're already really conditioned to not complain about it, and we have to live with it. So we've already started learning how to tune it out. If you're old like me and you're 50 and you've been dealing with it since you're 20, 30 years, I'm really good at doing things to mask tinnitus. It pisses everybody off around me, but I just have loud things on, loud music. I always have noise, fans, TV, music, you name it, some kind of noise, so I don't focus on it. That's just kind of what I do. So that's basically how tinnitus shows up, and it started in the military. And when you're filing your claim for tinnitus, again, I said this is a good direct service connection claim, especially if you don't have any points on the board to hook secondaries onto. So the way that the current diagnosis, current symptoms, and the nexus works with tinnitus is you're not going to have a diagnosis. That's going to come from the VA. That's not a strategy that I preach or teach, but that's the way tinnitus claims work. As far as the symptoms go, you are able to report the symptoms because it's actually 95% subjective. There is 5% of people out there that have objective tinnitus that's testable. But for any of you watching me, it's all subjective. So with the symptoms, you have to talk about when they started and what they're like. And with disabilities, they're looking for chronic disabilities, right? You have acute and chronic. Acute's like 6 months, chronic's like for the rest of your life. So my tinnitus started on the flight line at Incirlik Air Base in Turkey, and it's never stopped. It's been going on the whole time. And that's exactly what they need to see. And you're able to write that because nobody else can write it for you. No doctor can say how bad your tinnitus is and all that kind of stuff. But they are looking for a date, and they're looking for symptoms throughout a long period of time. Now, the nexus part is how you establish service connection for tinnitus. This one, again, is also done in your same personal statement, and you say it started on this date or this time frame, sometime in August 1990, September 1990 at Incirlik Air Base, and I was sitting on the flight line, and cops didn't have hearing protection, and I noticed it then. I was on the flight line like forever, right? So you're basically saying this is when it started. Doesn't have to be an exact date. Give them a month or a little time frame, but you know when it started. If you're sitting on the flight line and you got tinnitus from it, you know when it started. So give them that date. So that's when it started. That's the nexus. And then I've had the symptoms. I've had the ringing, the binging, whatever it is for you. It's different for everybody. That's another reason why it's so subjective. It literally could be hissing and clicking or ringing, or we don't even know what it is. I say ringing because that best describes it, but I don't know what it is. I don't know where it is. It's just in my head somewhere. Subjective claim. So tinnitus is a good one to get points on the board, and you will fill out a personal statement. You are qualified to talk about the symptoms and the nexus. They are going to send you to a CNP exam. Expect them to send you to an audiologist. They're going to check your hearing out as well. And you'll either have no hearing loss and get not service connected, or maybe you'll get service connected. They'll give you some hearing aids and you'll get 0%. Which isn't bad. That's another way to get service connected too. You can start with hearing loss, but we're talking about tinnitus. So expect that. And the doctor is going to be the one that provides the diagnosis. So then you'll have all three elements: diagnosis, current symptoms, and the nexus. Tinnitus is a great way to get points on the board. And it's 10%, right? So it's 10%, whether you have it in one ear or both ears. Bilateral tinnitus is the same thing. It's just 10%. So you either win it or you don't. Once you have that one, then you can file secondaries onto it. Let me jump in here real quick and tell you about my boot camp. If you want to learn more about the VA claims process, check out my boot camp. You can talk to me live. There's a link on the website. And in the description, combatcraig.com. And also, if you need medical evidence like a nexus or documenting your symptoms properly, go to our website, combatcraig.com, and it says medteam/nexus letters. Click on that link, fill out the form, boom, you're done.